What if I told you that social media is wasting your money? Look around at the streets, the bus stops, the waiting rooms of buildings. What do you see? Just imagine it in your brain. Maybe you see the crowded streets and city lights. Maybe you imagine the crowded bus stop or a waiting room filled with people waiting for appointments. But one detail that maybe you missed in your mind was what the people are doing. Looking down at their phones, looking at social media. Almost every single person is looking down at their phones. But it's not just on the streets, at the bus stops, or in waiting rooms. It's at home too. Scrolling, and more scrolling. There is a quote by Benjamin Franklin. It's simple and short, but so powerful. Time is money. Just keep that in mind. The average use of a phone per day is 7 hours and 22 minutes. The average time per day. That's for teenagers. Everyone watching this video is special. You have a skill that no one else possesses. Pause the video and just remind yourself of it. Just remind yourself of that for a second. Now, using that skill will change your life. Just imagine using a skill you have in the future and getting what it is you want, living the life you want. But there's an enemy, a roadblock in the way of that. That roadblock is social media. Every time you use social media for an instant source of entertainment, you take away your own potential. I have wasted many days doing this instead of focusing on my potential. Although stopping the use of social media may seem hard at first, it isn't. All there really is to it is just replacing the time you would spend on it with other things. To repeat the earlier point, the average time per day spent on a phone for a teenager is 7 hours and 22 minutes. To put things into perspective, teenagers spend about 7 hours sleeping. That means that for 9 hours and 38 minutes, most teenagers are not on their phone. This may seem like a lot. That's excluding other devices, though. If the average teenager spends 7 hours sleeping, that means that they're awake for 17 hours. And they've wasted almost half of that on social media. That's just considering the average use. 29% use it for more than 8 hours a day. In fact, I remember in a classroom, the teacher asked the students to look at their screen time. Most were 48 hours, but one was 15 hours in one day, one single day. This seems like a lot of boring statistics, but this is the setup. If time is money, then every time you go on social media to get dopamine hits, you are literally wasting your money. Think about it. If you had $24 million, would you waste any of it? Would you waste 7 million, 8 million, maybe more? No. So if time is money, then you're wasting your time and money as a result. You're wasting your you're really wasting your potential. Be honest with yourself. What are you getting out of it? Is it improving your life? Is it gaining you wisdom and knowledge? Is it making you stronger? Social media is designed to give you a sense of happiness because you watched a funny video or post. maybe lust because you saw something sexual, anger because the other side of politics is attacking you, and is that fair to you? Is that making your life better? You are a special person. I don't care what anyone says. You are special. So why are you killing that part of yourself? Why are you making yourself a slave to social media apps and not spending your time doing what makes you special? I'll say it again. Every single person watching this video has a talent. I don't care if someone says that you don't, they're wrong. Everyone has a talent. If you think that you don't, go and find it. I guarantee you, you will. Everyone has a talent. Quote me on that. Don't spend your time giving more money to the already rich billionaires. Spend your time getting rich, gaining quality friends, using your talents, appreciating the beauty of nature, and getting closer to your family. Finding happiness in the world around you and instead of social media. And if you can't find happiness in the world, then fix that. And if you think that you're too small to make an impact, look at a mosquito. But maybe you don't think you'd be happier off social media. Maybe you think it wouldn't make a difference. Well, here are some stats then. In an experiment, 1,700 Facebook users were split into two different groups. The results were eye-opening. One group was told to deactivate their accounts while the other was not. Over the 4 weeks, surveys were used to determine their daily moods, news consumption, accuracy of the knowledge they had on the news, and their views on politics. The people who didn't use it were happier at the end of the 4 weeks. Less anxious and just more satisfied with their life in general. Again, I'll say it again. They were happier, they were less anxious, and they were more satisfied with their life. A change that was 25 to 40% that the effect therapy would have on emotions. 4 to 5 said that the deactivation had also been good for them and for their lives. The effect of polarization in news, or in more simple terms, information that activates a sort of tribal-like reaction of us versus them, that dropped by nearly half. Almost half. But no matter what, in summary, social media wastes your time. So ask yourself, and ask yourself honestly, because you are an honest person. You are an honest person. Is social media bringing me closer to my goal or farther away from it? Am I spending my time wisely? And what impact will this have on my future? Based on this, I challenge all of you. Don't use social media for a week and see what happens. I guarantee you will be happier. Imagine that. This is all you have to do to be happy. Even if you can't do that for a week, refraining for even a day is an improvement. You are closer to the goal than you were before. After you're done with the challenge, comment and tell everyone what happened. Time is money, and social media is wasting your money. Are you going to let it? If you want to do something good right now, share this information with someone else, whether that's just telling them about it, sharing the video, or however you would do it. Maybe even reading books on it. You could change someone's life. You could change someone else's life for the better, as you are doing with yours. Spread the knowledge and be good to yourself.